What up? It's your boy Kim back again at representing Mr. K Money Capital. And today, I just want to raise some good vibes and push up. Look at that, guys. So this is the monthly time frame for our one and only Bitcoin. But before we go there, let's just check what crypto was about to say. Because today USD has shown as oneness, pumped 400%, then now it's down back to zero. What the fuck is that? Luna 444. Luna is basically dead. I'm sorry to say so, but yeah, right now Dokon is working on Luna 2.0. Where now Luna 2.2 is gonna be a layer 1, just like Avalanche, Solana, Ethereum, Phantom, Polkadot. It has switched its lane from now having Luna ecosystem, pegged around the UST stablecoin. Right now, Luna 2.0 is now coming out as, you guessed it, as a layer 1. So now the question is, what is special about Luna 2.0 that's gonna make people or developers move from what they're currently using, Phantom, Solana, Avalanche, Ethereum, to Luna 2.0? Because right now, the reason why people are going to the Luna ecosystem was because of the increased usage of the UST. Now that the UST is no longer affiliated with Luna 2.0, it has lost its value now again. But we are seeing a lot of projects that were in the Luna ecosystem now building, like Astroport, which is the main aggregate market maker, in the Tela ecosystem. Luna ecosystem now has already migrated, and we are seeing a lot of support from some of the ecosystem. Others are planning to build their own chains, and others have completely died, because what happened is that when now liquidity is out of a small token that has less, that has a lower market cap, chances for it to survive because of the runway. The runway is no longer there. There's no longer money to hire devs to do what they have to do to keep the project up and running. So a lot of projects died. The ones that are surviving are now migrating to 2.0, and others are looking for other chains to continue building on. But hey, let's see how it's gonna be. Those who wanna risk to get into the Luna 2.0, because right now it's about to be listed in centralized exchanges. Hopefully, they're gonna find a solution and make Luna come back again. But for me, it's not an investment for now. It's just a speculation, nothing concrete, nothing solid to look out for, apart from what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing reds, and clearly we have not even had the FOMC minutes come out. We need to know exactly what the Fed is planning to do, so that we can know exactly what we should or which direction the market should go. So essentially, when you see this dump before news, chances are we're gonna come back and do a very nice short squeeze to just to liquidate all those people who thought that the news has already been priced in. Of course, because we have some expectations in the market. But clearly you can see we have a very strong support here at 29,100. That's a strong monthly support. That's where the last week before, back in June 2021 last year, and we are back to those levels. This was after the May crash, which was severe back then, after the 63k all-time high. Now after this 69k, we are back to those levels, but we have not yet broken to the downside just yet to confirm the entire move. So right now we are still hovering around there. Hopefully we're gonna close this month above here, so that at least we can see another week down and then bounce off, instead of us closing below this. Because once we close below this in the 28k region, that means that now we are set for a nice clean, we are set for another clean move downwards. But I see us coming all the way back to probably 38 40k region before we come back down to the 20s, and probably even the 10k to 20k region. So that's that's it for the monthly time frame. When you go to the weekly, we get to see exactly how long I've been in a bear market. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So that's 9 weeks. That's 2 months and 1 week, which means now the past 2 months we have been in a bear market, which is not something to to worry about. But the fact that we have been in a very strong downtrend like this, we expect to have a relief bounce before we go further down, because there's too much blood on the streets. Of course, Luna started all this, and it was a bad month for basically everyone in crypto, everyone who was exposed in Luna, and anyone who was also not exposed in Luna but other tokens. With such kind of a market with BTC, every other altcoins crashed, and we can check that, again from you can check that from what do you call from other metrics right here, like the total. So the total basically tells us, what, this is the total amount of market cap for all projects in crypto that are known, right? So all projects that the crypto ecosystem, that are in the crypto ecosystem and are and publicly known and invested. This is the total. A very very strong drawdown from the highs, which was at around 3 billion, right? And now we are down almost 60%, which is not something to smile about. But you can see, just like Bitcoin, we're in a very strong support zone, which we were back which was back in June 2021 again. So we ought to see a relief bounce here before we break this further down, or just continue breaking it and going even further down. So what this means is that now we might see another bounce here. There is another confluence that we might see another bounce. Then we look at USDT dominance, and you can see it has been on a steady rise since May 2019. Of course, more people are holding stable coins, but clearly, let me adjust this trend line well. But clearly, we can see we also broke all-time highs, which was set back in in June last year. Of course, anytime this USDT dominance is negatively correlated with the market. So you can see here, when we are seeing other dips in the market cap in the market, and we are seeing an increase in USDT dominance, which meant this point in time, more people are liquidating their crypto assets to put to mint more stable coins so that they can wait for the dip. And then once we saw this dump in USDT dominance, that's when we saw that relief bounce off of crypto that went all the way to September 21st, went all the way to November. This is when now the bear market started, and you can see we have had a consistently increase in the USDT dominance since then. And right now we have gotten to the point where we are seeing a very strong backlash, where I expect us to come and retest this resistance, which now turned support. So we come retest this before we go further up, which means we're gonna have a relief bounce off of that dump right there for the USDT dominance. Because where is the money going? The money is definitely flowing back to the market. And then we also have this right here, as we're talking about market cap, the market cap Bitcoin dominance. So the dominance of Bitcoin is increasing, which means more money is flowing on Bitcoin and less is flowing on altcoins. Because at this point where we have a extreme fear in the market, people are not investing in altcoins. People are investing in stable assets, in assets that are deemed safer, and we are talking about Bitcoin in this case and Ethereum. So I expect the Ethereum and Bitcoin dominance to increase, and this is the main one, which is Bitcoin. Still at the 40k region, we're still not broken, we're still in this strong range, but you can see we have a very strong dump from the 70 region, which I don't think we'll ever see again. And yeah, the dominance will continue to decrease and decrease until now the market is dependent and free from what Bitcoin does. That's pretty much what everyone expects, right? So the DXY is also something else to look at. So what is the DXY? DXY is the dollar strength index. And what does the dollar strength index do? When you go to the monthly time frame, you're gonna see this very well. The dollar strength index is basically the strength of the dollar, and anytime we are seeing increase in the strength of the dollar, that means more money is flowing to the dollar, and people are selling off risky assets and holding off the dollar to be as a safe asset. And anytime we are seeing this dump in the dollar, that means that now money is flowing back to the markets and other risky assets, so that people can play around with the money. And you can see that the the strength of the dollar has been decreasing since 1980, right? Since in the 80s, and right now we just broke that trend line, and we are now starting to see a comeback strength in the dollar, which I think is making this is what's giving the Fed a very, very, very confident, uh, you know, ideology to make, to feel that the US economy is doing well. What happens now? So what happens is that the DXY is also negatively correlated to the just like USDT dominance, right? So USDT dominance and DXY are probably one and the same thing, because the stable coins are pegged to the dollar. So if the dollar is increasing in strength, definitely I expect the USDT dominance to increase, right? So what happens with the dollar strength? Increases, which means more money is flowing in the dollar, and it's pouring off. Where is it coming from? People are taking profits. People are panic selling cryptos and stocks right there, right? So right now we are seeing also we have gotten to this resistance that we failed to break, and I hope that we are going to break to the downside, break this. Can see this consistent trend line right here, break it, and at least come have that touch in this range before we break further up. So during the in the recession or something, you can see this. The dollar has been increasing in value since last year, May 2021, which means this is when now the crash started in May. People are taking profits aggressively, and investors are deleveraging. Now at least we're gonna see a relief bounce off, at least even coming out all the way down here to the 100k 100 region or 90 region would be amazing before you go further up, right? Then lastly but not least, we have the stock market. Now we're talking about the QQQ. The QQQ has also broken very key support levels, and I presume that you're going further down to even more dips. And you remember this one is very positively correlated to the Bitcoin market. If we have dumped, for right now we have dumped around 30%. We're 30% down of all-time high. Yeah, we are 31% down, 30% down all-time high, which means the crypto should be even more further down. That's why we are seeing Bitcoin even more than 50% down, because it's riskier than stocks, right? We look at the Nasdaq itself again, it has also broken very key levels, floating to the downside. Gold is also in a very strong range, but in a downtrend. There is also not much money flowing to gold. I don't know why we're not seeing money flowing to gold, but gold has pretty much is pretty much holding very key levels. The Dow Jones, which is the US 30 as well, you can see we're in a bear market, and everything is dumping. And if the stock market is correlated to the crypto market, we expect the same. We broke this long-term trend line that began all the way in March 20 after the dump. Now it's time to rebalance things and at least come to these levels before anything else. These were the previous all-time highs. Come here, retest, enjoy. So until we come to this level, that's when the Fed is gonna feel like, what, now the market has reset, and the journey all the way here. That means even the crypto market is gonna hurt. Last and not least, the S&P 500. Again, you can see we are down another 20% with the S&P 500, and these are basically the top 500 stocks by market cap. 21 down percent, which means chances are we're gonna see another dump, just like we had a very strong pump from COVID 2020. Once we had that, what is it called, the stimulus checks, Now we're back coming to retest these previous highs. At least these are the pre-COVID levels. Very great reset, and that means the crypto market also has to dump all the way down before we see a high as going further up. So that's pretty much it for me today. That's exactly what was happening, what is happening in the market. That's exactly what I'm expecting in the market. So now what's the way forward for Bitcoin? We can see we're in a very strong range as well, waiting today for the FMOC minutes, so that we can know exactly what the Fed is doing, and then once we get those numbers, we know if you're going further down. But you can see here we are forming sort of a bear flag. If you know if you use patterns, you get what I'm saying, right? After a huge dump, then a relief bounce. So probably gonna go up a little bit here, get longs, more people bullish, and then have a very strong short squeeze coming all the way down, breaking that monthly support before you go further down. Or you're gonna see sort of a double bottom here, flash crash down before you go further up, and have a that touch on this trend line at least before we go further down. So those are two expectations. Either way, we can the market's gonna do good. So you can see here we only have a FOMC meeting as the major news that are going to affect the market. Of course, the GDP as well later today, tomorrow, and unemployment claims, and the core PCE. What is a PCE? PCE is the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, right? Personal consumption expenditure. So it's just like CPI, but now this is more personal, right? Rather than generalized. So wow, we have very strong news affecting the market this week. So let's be careful while trading, because then the end of the week is gonna be so much volatile. Hopefully people can bag some cash. Right now the market is boring. Only scalpers are making money. For swingers, we are still waiting, being patient with the market. So guys, make sure you hit that subscription bell below, that notification bell, and if you want to learn more from me, make sure you comment what you want to hear from me. Then follow me on Twitter, that's where I engage a lot, Telegram, Kimani Capital, everywhere, TikTok. Let's engage, guys. Cheers.